If you follow this stuff, I follow it some because I come in here and talk to people. So I said, well, let me see what's going on. This whole Jess Hilarious transgender thing. So I got the video that's kind of started, got her riled up.
Right.
So let's see. Hey, we got two ladies here, and so let's see what y'all think about this.
Okay.
I mean, when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like,
Are we arguing about periods?
Yeah, so Pat, that was I don't know the person's name, but it was his transgender.
Okay, well, let's look at the response. Let's look at the response.
Yeah. So Jess Hilarious saw that, and she was like, "Oh, well, let me go online too." And here we go.
Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never ever get. You'll never be that.
Ooh, she said that with some fire.
Yeah, I mean, she meant that. She meant that. I never knew periods were so precious.
No, it's not. Y'all can have mine. And if y'all paying for it, I'll give you mine. Like it's not.
So it's pretty interesting to see people go in so hard on it. I don't know. It's such a weird conversation, man. I don't know. What do y'all think as well? And one, so I'll say this too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with the whole transgender thing, it's almost you ever see that that story, The Emperor Has No Clothes?
I'm so scared where you're going with this. Right?
It's like a fable. The Emperor Has No Clothes. Yeah. It's like a children's story.
It is
so like the Emperor, like so some scammers come to the Emperor and they tell the Emperor, hey, these are the finest threads in the land, but when you put them on, everybody's gonna be in awe unless they're an idiot. Only an idiot can't see them. So the Emperor's like, oh well, I don't want people thinking I'm an idiot. So he's like, oh, put the outfit on me. So he goes out in the street, he's butt naked. And he's like, and he tells everybody, only an idiot can not see this. So everybody goes, ooh, your clothes are so fly. Ooh, look at your clothes. And so and finally somebody, I think it's a little kid in the story, says, yo, the Emperor's naked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then people's like, every trickle hit, hey, he is naked. Hey, he is naked. Mm-hmm. I feel like with transgender, man, I feel like they came on, they wanted the rights, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. But it's going too far in that people scared to say stuff like against it. And now I feel like people are kind of pushing back a little bit on some of it because some of it goes too far, I think. But so Facebook user said her language is harsh and insensitive. There is some truth. It needs to be a middle ground. By the way, women between women and the trans community. Okay. I mean, yeah, she was super passionate and now the straight jacket insane
Yeah, we hit in hard.
I don't know about that part.
Here's where some of I agree and disagree. I agree with Facebook users. It was kind of harsh, right? We are in a time where people are like, hey, I may have been biologically born a man, but I feel like I should be a woman, or vice versa, or whatever. And that's your choice, right? People are fighting for that. But to downplay or shame or be angry at a naturally born, like I was born a woman. I love being a woman. You can't take that away from me. I don't feel you could checklist being a woman. To project that, like, now it's an issue because this is how I was born. You are a contradiction to me. You are a contradiction to the very thing you're fighting for. You're saying, this is what I choose to be, accept me for who I am. But while I'm at it, I'm going to talk shit to a naturally born woman. Or I'm going to talk shit like, oh, so what, you have a period? That still doesn't mean, it's too much. Choose what you want to be. Let whatever it is happen and mind your motherfucking business. Thank you. That's all I have to say. That's all I gotta say.
So T.S. Medicine is the young lady's name, okay, that made the initial comment, okay. Although Jess said what she said, as a cis woman, I will say, and this is where Flame Monroe, who is also a very well-known yes, everyone knows Flame. Flame said it perfectly, and I hate we don't have her statement. But the bottom line is, as a cis woman, we are the gatekeepers of the period. We are the gatekeepers of birth. And that's just the reality of it. And Flame, and that's where I'm going to bring Flame into this, because Flame said it perfectly. If you truly want to be a woman, if that's who you are desiring to be, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of what she said, but basically she was like, you're going to have a hard time. That's not how she said it, but that's what she was saying. Because even if you have have the surgery done, you're never going to have a period, because anatomically and biologically, you were not born with the organs that produces and creates the egg and the whole cycle process. And from a cis woman who is perimenopausal, I'm waiting for this mother scooter to go away.
It sounds like you want to take it.
No one wants, no cis female is around here saying, woo, I got a period.
Exactly.
Trust me. And as you get older and your body starts going through all these biological changes, and sometimes you have the fibroids, and you got endometriosis, you got all these,
you got PCOS, you got all type of stuff.
All these things that are connected and related to the female reproductive system. Nobody wants that crap. So
I could get even a little deeper than that.
What's that, babe?
Emotionally, think about when you first get your period, all the emotional stuff you go through. Right? You got emotional stuff, the up and down. You don't even know what the hell's going on. You cannot even control that shit. And then you have the accidents where you chilling in the cute outfit and you get up and you got the stain on the. That's emotional stuff that teenagers go through. With
and that's when you need them period panties. They keep promoting. That's a whole other conversation. We're gonna stay focused.
There is a lot that comes with having your menstrual cycle. There is a lot that comes with being a cis woman. What about women who have miscarriage after miscarriage and they want to be like minimizing it to you're not the gatekeeper is
It's a.
It sounds like
it's
mind
an
your
insult.
fucking business. That's all. Just mind your business. Choose what you choose and mind your business, because there's so much more to being a woman than some titties and a vagina. There's so much more to being a woman that I'm not saying you can't experience it, but how dare someone say, "Oh, yours ain't shit. You ain't." It just mind your business.
I agree.
Mind your business.
There needs to be a universal terminology for womanhood, concentrating on. I don't understand. Y'all understand that? I don't understand that.
Let me see. It says, I think there needs to be a universal terminology for womanhood. I think we are concentrating on the wrong thing, meaning the word woman or the word period, I guess.
Okay, so Facebook user, and I know who you are. If you okay with me calling your name, I will call your name because I know I'm watching your comments, sweetie. But no, I got it. But
I got it with you.
But for Facebook user, if you don't mind, elaborate, if you will, in the comment for me, because I think from a universal standpoint, universally, a young lady becomes a woman when she begins her menstrual cycle. Like biologically, that is truly universal. So if you don't mind, elaborate for me, baby, because I would love to have conversation with you. Just to hear your perspective and respect that too.
Agreed.
But from my perspective, there is a universal terminology in that sense of, like I say,
just we'll give you some time to elaborate.
Yeah.
Trans people are looking for acceptance. So you're saying a terminology that would make a trans woman feel accepted as if they are as acceptable as a cis woman. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, man.
I think that's the issue. I think, why does one have to be less than the? It's just so much of, I'm more of a woman. Okay, yes.
It just be a trans woman. I feel like be a trans woman. Like,
yeah, because
for me to turn cis, like, where did that even come from? Cis, I'm a man. Like, you're a woman, and you can be a trans woman, and it's all good. I'll hire you. I don't want you protected by the law. I don't want no harm to come to you. But the whole tell me what to call everybody, I'll call you that if you ask me to call you, I'll call you that. Yeah. But in my head, you are what I think you are. But but for me, don't tell me what I am. I'm a man. I'm not a cis man. I'm a man. And you could be a trans, whatever, and that's what you are. That's cool.
I think the acceptance, I understand that, and I just want to address that. Yeah. Everyone's looking for acceptance. So a trans is no different than an African American. I'm not saying that, and I'm not minimizing. I'm trying to understand, why do we have to minimize the core of who we are, right? Because you want to be accepted. So now you're gonna create a rejection for a biologically born woman or man because you want to be accepted. It's just, we don't have to step on each other's necks. It's not going to make you feel any better
right.
It's not going to make you feel any better about the process that you've chosen to go through by bringing someone else down. I think that's where I'm at.
Looking for acceptance and bi women throw up in their faces they ain't real women. Well, I mean, that's what it is.
But here, you know what? So we got a male on the show, right? So the our male counterpart says it is what it is.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be 7 foot tall.
But I wish I was a little bit.
I never got 7 foot tall, and I see 7 foot tall people. That's what nature gave us. I mean, I don't know.
But for me, again, Facebook user, if you profess and you identify yourself as a woman, and when I look at you, I see a woman, even though I know that you may be trans, sweetheart, I'm going to acknowledge you just as you would desire for me to acknowledge you as. Because if I'm looking at you and I see a female, then guess what, love bug, you a female. Yeah. And I'm going to call you by your proper pronoun, she or her, right? Mm-hmm. If that's what you desire for me to refer to you as. So that's just me. But again, this is coming from a woman. So when we start getting into the whole mix of how men perceive and receive the trans female, that's a whole other conversation. That don't even have anything to do.
I started to post the video.
That don't even have anything to do with the fact of what T.S. Madison her had said to even get this whole conversation started. You know what I'm saying?
Jonathan. Sorry, I know who it is. Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah. So I feel you, but that's a whole other conversation.
Because I saw a couple of videos about it. I saw it posted where they were asking men, would you date a transgender woman? And this where I got when I was talking about the emperor has no clothes on, like syndrome, like and there was a couple of trans women were like, no, you guys are wrong. You guys are hung up on the penis. It's a female penis. And they were like calling it, like they be just naming stuff, and then it'd be a thing. They're like, no, it's a female penis. It's not like a male penis. And I was like, and the guys who were like, they were I should have posted. There's guys, it's like an old man on the street interview.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, because there's a man upon them, no prep. They just thinking.
Yeah,
what
just
they
street
think.
polling. Yeah.
And the guys were like, what's a female penis? Everybody was like, what is that? And the lady was like trying to educate them on like, no, it's a female penis because I'm a woman, I have a penis, so it's female. And it was just like, it's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is a female? No, a penis is a penis. And the guys were like, they're like, nah, I wouldn't date a trans woman. And it was like this thing like, oh, well, it's okay, like, but there are guys who do, they enjoy that. So you gotta find them. You gotta find those.
And again, I think it goes back to I get it. We all in our own way want to be accepted, but minimizing my belief, my preference, however you want to label it, it's not going to make you any more accepted or whatever you're trying to project more acceptable. It's just not. It actually makes whoever you're talking to reject you more.
Yeah, it puts up that barrier.
Right? So my thing is, out of respect, if you like to be identified as whatever, because you could be male, that's fine. If I disrespect you in how your preference of being identified, that's different.
I agree, Jay.
But yeah, let's not and say we did. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. Like the real question is, do you accept yourself?
That's the part.
It's trying too hard for me to accept you.
And that's why I appreciated Flame's response. And she said it perfectly. And she wasn't even necessarily defending Jess or coming to the aid of TS. Like she just said what she said. And coming from another trans woman, trans female, like I was like, okay, all right, Miss Monroe, I feel you, boo. Because she was dead on it.
Yeah.
Can we say that maybe everyone's a little extra sensitive nowadays?
Listen, okay. So yes, we can say this. Let me tell y'all something. So while I was on a business trip in Portland.
Dr. Royal is like, let me tell you a story.
No, let me tell you because it was so interesting to me. I've never seen or experienced anything like this ever in my life. And unless you've gone outside of the immediate Bible Belt, I'm gonna say that y'all ain't never seen this mess before either. I don't believe, and I don't mean
New York. I've seen a lot.
No, I don't think you've seen this shit, boo. So, and I don't mean to call it mess. It's just different. So, at the convention I was attending, big convention center, they had male and female bathrooms, right? Not uncommon, right? So I used the restroom in one particular area where I was, where the session was being held. So at the end of the day, I was in another part of the building, and I was like, "Oh, let me find the restroom because I gotta go." So as I was looking for the restroom signs, saw the restroom sign, went that direction, and I was like, okay, that's a restroom because I saw the sign on the door, but it didn't say female or it didn't say woman or men,
Did it
women or
say
men.
gender neutral?
It didn't say, I think it just said restroom on it.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was like, okay. So I looked to my left, looked to my right, because I was trying to figure out which one is, where's the women, where's the men.
Yeah.
So me being me, because I don't want to walk in on a man while his penis is out urinating. So I kind of pushed the door open.
You're just gonna see his back.
That's all I need to see. Because if I see you standing at a urinal, that's all I need to know.
Facebook users said single stall.
No. So
you don't go into a men's bathroom and just see penises hanging out.
listen,
It's just designed.
I was not ready.
Back.
I was not ready. I didn't want to see none of it. So when I hit the door, I didn't see anything, any person. Let me say it correctly. A gentleman happened to be coming, African American man happened to be coming, and I was like, "Hey," he was like, "Hey," he said, "I know," because he already knew what I was thinking. He said, "I know." I said, "So what's the deal?" And he pointed to the sign, and above my head, it did say all users.
All users?
Yeah. So I was like,
that's normal. In other countries, bathrooms
sweetie,
are unisex.
that's
Well,
lovely.
my job has female, male, and then gender neutral bathrooms. Like how
Sweetie,
you have a family bathroom, they have
I ain't seen no mess like this before. And I don't mean to keep calling it mess. I just ain't
I'm
never
like,
seen nothing
you
like
just
this
keep
before.
calling it a mess now.
I don't mean to call
It's
it a mess.
common, especially like in Western Europe, a lot of those places, the bathrooms.
Yes.
Well, baby, we weren't in Western Europe. We're in Portland, Oregon. So I was like, oh my God.
Oregon, yeah.
So the guy, he was like, yeah, he said it kind of freaked me out a little bit the other day because we don't do this. I said, I know. He said, but yeah, everybody just uses this singular bathroom. So he walked
one stall.
No. It was multiple stalls. Just any male or females, it don't matter.
Like if you gotta go, you gotta go. It doesn't
and everybody just go into the bathroom, and it had multiple stalls.
Yes.
There were no
Yes.
Yeah, there
absolutely.
there was no there were no urinals. It was actual stalls, and I was like, oh wow, okay. So he went down his way and used the restroom. I went into my stall, and everybody just pee-peed and whatever they had to do, and we washed our hands.
As long as you're not peeing on the floor, why are we putting so much thought into it? Like,
I was just
I think people think too hard about the bathroom myself. Because like even with the transgender thing with the bathrooms, to me, if a the transgender, like especially the women I'm seeing, it look like women. So if they walk into the bathroom and go into a stall, close the door, I don't know what the hell they doing.
So I was cool once I got in there and realized, what the setup was. I was like, okay, whatever. But it was just different because we don't have that here in North Carolina. At least I ain't seen it. I hear what y'all saying about your jobs, but as far as like stores or convention centers, I haven't seen that locally.
It's just too much. This is why I said, and just mind your business. It's too much thought. I'm going to the bathroom. So now you have to tell me where. I could just pee on the floor. We just universal. Like it's too much. And then it's too much sensitivity. I'm hurt because what you say and how you call me, and oops, you said she instead of he. Tyrone's right here. If I trip up and be like, you crazy girl, and I'm like, my bad, he's not gonna be like, oh, she doesn't know that I'm a man. It's not gonna happen that way. It goes back to self. Yes, everyone wants to be accepted, but it is not my job to be uncomfortable because you don't feel comfortable in your skin. Yeah. I'm fighting my own battle to be comfortable in my skin. I'm trying to deal with the period and the boobs and the
listen, and bro, I'm so sorry, but like if you're a transgender and you done a good job at it, it's all good. But if you like
done a good job at it, what does
you look like a woman and I don't really know what's going on. But if you like got a beard or like 5 o'clock shadow and you still sounding like me. I don't know. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm looking at you a little sideways, you know. But I don't know. But I respect everybody. I just don't,
Yeah.
people got to
You can
understand that
respect, you don't
it's a
have to
little
accept.
different for some people. Like again, I remember back in the day when people were different, if they were gay or transgender, and you could smack them around and beat them up, and then nobody would care.
What, Tyrone? Where
Yeah,
you live at?
no, really. I live in America.
You
It
was
used to be crazy
smacking
back in the
people
day.
around.
Back in the day, like
What was
if
you
you were
smacking around?
listen, really, if you back in
What
the
you-
day,
Yeah.
What I'm
if
saying is,
somebody was
you're
gay
saying it was
or
acceptable to bully,
yeah,
basically.
people. It wasn't like now. Like that happened to people, and it wasn't like a huge deal, especially
Yeah.
in some places. Like I don't want it to go back to that. Like
No.
I never liked that. I never was cool with that at
Mhm.
all. Like I don't want that for anybody. I want people respected
Yeah.
and treated the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's just sometimes it gets a little pushy. Movement sometimes go too far. And I think sometimes with the trans movement, I think they get into that part where they push a little bit too far with all the a million pronouns and telling people what they are,
Terminologies and stuff.
all of
Yeah.
that. It gets a little now you gotta like equal rights, getting mad at people who make jokes about them. Part of equality is being able to get joked on, right?
Facts. Facts.
Without, there's no group that should be a pedestal where you can't say anything about them. That's part of being
Mhm.
equal. Now you equal, you're gonna be equal. You gotta
Mhm.
get these
You're gonna
jokes.
be a part of the jokes, the roasting, and everything.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta get this roasting, and you gotta give grace to people. I think that's what they're missing. They're not giving grace to people,
Hmm.
and some people are going to make mistakes. It's going to be different to some
Yeah.
people, and you got it's being accepted now. But you can't be like, oh, you misgender me, oh, you're a homophobe,
Mhm.
you're a turf, because you speak out against somebody doing something wrong in that group. That's where I'm at. Like, I want everybody to have respect. I'll hire you. I want you protected. I want you to love whoever you want to love.
Mhm.
But
Hmm.
just chill out, man. Y'all getting a little uptight out here, man. Relax a little bit. Hey,
And
I notice it's mostly trans women. I don't see trans men. You don't hear trans men be quiet. They be chilling. They be in the cut. I don't ever hear them,
In the cut.
coming.
That's where they be in the cut.
But two, I think because they're trying to be men, so it's a different reaction. So
No
they're not,
whining, no complaining.
yeah. So they're like, cause you don't see that. And then with the sports, you know, you don't the
that's a
sports
that's
world,
that's a touchy one too. That's
that's a touch
ooh,
point,
that's a
yeah,
hurt.
because trans women, I don't think it's fair. I
I,
think it's
I do
proof
not.
because you don't see trans men. You don't see no trans men trying to play, trying to play with men like that
Right.
because they can't. And it's just biology. I know people like to say
Mhm.
identity, but when it comes to sports, I think you got to kind of look
Yeah,
at
you
biology.
have to draw a line
You know what I'm saying?
because it does create an unfair advantage, and that's just biologically the bottom line, point blank. Period. There is
Mhm.
no slicing and dicing, trying to be politically correct with this. I respect again. I respect people's difference of opinion than my own, but you got to understand that individual who is on a female track team but is biologically a male, you are going to dominate because especially if you train and you do what you're supposed to do, okay, right? You're gonna dominate just by default,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the reality of it. And I want to go comment on Jay. Jay, you absolutely right when you said Caitlyn Jenner, because when Caitlyn first came out, Caitlyn was looking like a dog. Ugh. But Caitlyn has refined herself. She truly looks more feminine. Like, so when I see Caitlyn Jenner
Softer.
now, yeah, softer. That's a great word. So when I see Caitlyn now, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, originally, woo-hoo-hoo,
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
that
Yeah.
was wicked. Mm.
So, what else has been happening since we've been gone?
He's currently still.
Hilarious.
So the other current things, as you all know, we've had recently several people who have passed on.
Mhm.
We had Sinead O'Connor.
Mhm.
I haven't really checked into that whole story outside of the fact that, from my understanding, she shared with people like that this was what was coming.
Mhm.
And